How will you honor Lisa here? Because when you come here, you do such a great job of honoring Elvis. How will you honor Lisa?
You know, it's about celebrating her life. You know, this whole Graceland is about celebrating Elvis's life, and we're going to do the same for Lisa. The one thing, you know, she had many thoughts about what her funeral would be like. There was no question she wanted to be buried at Graceland. Since her son passed away, there was no question she wanted to be buried next to her son. And the one thing she said is just don't make it sad.
So she wants it to be a celebration.
She wants it to be a celebration, and that's what it's going to be.
The myths that are out there right now, that there is some kind of battle over this house. Is there a succession plan?
There absolutely is. There was since Elvis. You know, before Elvis passed away, he wanted to make sure that Lisa Marie got the home, got the estate. It was put into a trust. That trust throughout the years have been updated, and it was Lisa's desire, without question, that her children take over. Riley at this point, because Riley is of age majority, and so one day Harper and Finley as well. It's their home. It's their home, it's always been. It's Elvis's home, it's Lisa's home, it will be Riley's home, without question.
There is no court battle.
If there was, I don't see how.
Is there anything else out there being said that you want to dispel or just get to the bottom of?
You know, it's Lisa's intent, without question, has been for Riley to take over for her, to have the twins eventually take over for her, be with Riley. There's no question in anyone's mind that that was it. That's where she was, that's what she wanted, and that's it.
Since Benjamin passed away, she has struggled. How was she that last week?
It was by far the best week of her life since Benjamin passed. She was happy. I was with her for several days at Graceland, leading up to her dad's birthday on the Sunday the 8th. She had a great time. She stood for hours after the ceremony, signing autographs, taking photos. She wouldn't leave until the last person was satisfied. She had an amazing time. We flew back right after. We're going to Los Angeles because Warner Brothers was having a birthday party at the Formosa for the movie and to obviously for the Oscars. And she had an amazing time with her daughter. Austin was there, Baz was there, just a great time. She was looking forward to the Golden Globes. She had an amazing time at the Golden Globes. She was so happy that Austin won. It really, you know, she's, as she said, I'm gonna eat my foot if Austin loses. And she's just wanted, Austin and her have such a great relationship. They did an amazing interview together. They formed just a great bond. And she just was so thrilled at the performance.
I'm gonna show you what the real Elvis is like tonight.
If you're looking for trouble, you came to the right place. If you're looking for trouble, just look right in my face.
Tell me about the bond between Lisa and Austin, because that was a person embodying her father.
You know, my interactions with Lisa and during my years with Lisa, she's always suspicious about everything. There were so many things that went wrong in her life, so many things that didn't go the way they should, that she was very careful and cautious about letting Baz make the movie, about having Austin be in the movie. But when they got together, they were really kindred spirits. You know, Austin had done such a great job over many years. You know, COVID actually allowed Austin to live in Elvis for so much longer than he normally would have, that he really became Elvis, and I think Lisa saw that, and Lisa was so proud, and she was so honored, and you know, again, Lisa is just, you know, her gut reaction is not to do anything, but when we talked to her and we walked through and how important it was to do an interview with Austin, and Austin took such great care. He really, he understood her vulnerability. He saw, you know, that she was a very vulnerable person, which she always was. And it was one of the most amazing, electric, energetic, and every time I saw them together afterwards, it was so easy, it was so real.
You talked about Austin coming here to Graceland. Tell me about that, because his first visit was here to Graceland?
His first visit, very shortly after he being named Elvis, he came to Graceland. He really walked through, he really revered, he took such, you know, it was so serious to him, it was so important to him. That he really, his first experience, as was Baz's first experience, the way you start the process is you come here. Because when you come here, it all becomes clear.
he has still, it feels like to me, he still has Elvis left inside him. Do you see that?
You know, I was with him when he was the host of Saturday Night Live. And it was a little interesting how he had to come in and out of it, and I think it was much easier for him to come into it than to come out of it.
You talked about your relationship with Lisa Marie. What didn't we know about Lisa Marie? What didn't we understand?
You know, there's so many people who talk about so many things about Lisa. She was just a kind, earnest, just the realest person you would ever meet. You know, my respect for her was really about how real she was. If she was unhappy, you knew about it. If she was happy, you knew about it. She was brilliant. She was an amazing performer. I was lucky enough, I was actually the last one to record Lisa. We produced a gospel record, and we did it, and she performed a duet with her dad. She broke down halfway through the song in the booth. We recorded it in the same studio in Hollywood that her dad recorded the audio tracks for the '68 special. So there was so much history there. And halfway through, when she was singing to her father, she became so emotional. But she was just, you know, she was one of the most kind, earnest souls I've ever met in my life.
This was her house, and there was still the private area upstairs, but she would come back, and would she stay or just have dinners?
No, this was her home, and, you know, early on, you know, I have known Lisa for about 10 years. Early on, for me, she would stay in the house, she would stay in the home, she'd stay in the home over extended periods, especially if something wasn't going well in her life. And this wasn't her house, this was her home. You know, so this is 25 million people have visited Graceland. It's their house. Elvis was theirs. Elvis would invite people in, he would invite people up, but this has really only been two people's homes. It's been Elvis's home and it was Lisa's home.
So she would stay here. And
Yes.
When she was here, what was that like?
You know, for me, I can't speak to other people, but for me, it was great because she was home. It was something that she felt so close to. She would be brought things from her childhood that she didn't even remember. She would open up a box of things that her dad, a makeup kit that her dad would take with her. And there would be so many memories in there that it was truly, it was an honor and a privilege to watch her have those memories and have those emotions.
How hard was that to deal with when you learned of her passing?
It's still to an extent not real. I mean, I was here 50 feet away with Lisa 2 weeks ago. And to think about her just not being here and to having to interact with her, and just like I and many other people have been able to visit with Ben, I know that every single time I come to this property for the rest of my life, I'm going to visit with Lisa.
We still see that people are coming to tour, and there will always be this love for this place. Will there be any special new Lisa Marie features or anything added now to honor her?
You know, there's always been, or for the last number of years, an exhibition for Lisa. And really just an incredible moment is when we showed Lisa the exhibition before it opened. There was a quote from her dad that, you know, the best thing that he ever did was her. And she had never seen that quote before. And it was such, she didn't know he said it, wasn't aware of it. And even that was so emotional. And I'm afraid to even walk in there right now because of how emotional I would get. But it gave her great joy. Graceland gives people great joy. So we're not thinking about this from a business standpoint. I'm sure at some point we will think about what we can do more for Lisa here. But everything now is just to honor her and to celebrate her.
What will Lisa Marie's legacy be?
You know, she was an amazing performer. Her records are great. And I think she wasn't given the chance to perform more, to be more of who she was because she was Elvis's child. You know, there are some people who are not talented, who are leaning off their parents. This was exactly the opposite. She was unbelievably, when you feel and hear the passion in her voice, I don't think she was given a chance. And I think in many ways in life she wasn't given that chance. So I think as time goes on, she's going to be a great performer, and she's also going to be the person who, you know, she was selfless in what she did for her dad. Every time, every decision that was made had nothing to do with what's best for Lisa, but what's best for Elvis.